Next up on the call is Mississippi Valley State. Mississippi Valley State this past weekend fell to Southern University by a final score of 17-7. This week for Valley is a bye week, and in place of head coach Carl Morgan, we will talk things over this morning with Terrence. Coach Graves, are you with us this morning?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good, Coach. If you will talk about your game with Southern this past Saturday, and talk about your plans for the off week, and I know you go back at it again against Alabama A&M on October 5th.
Yes, this past week against Southern University, we came up short. We had opportunities to win the game, and we just didn't take advantage of the opportunities that we had. We had a few miscues on special teams. We also had some situations where we were down in the critical zone, which is the plus 30 going in about 3 or 4 times, and we came out with no points. Defensively, we played well, but the thing that we stressed all week was not giving up the big play, and it hurt us in the fourth quarter. Those things that, we gave up big plays, which led to Southern scoring 2 touchdowns, and early on, a big play led us to Southern get in a field goal. So, things that we talked about and we emphasized, we did a pretty good job, but then late in the game it hurt us, and as a result, we came up short.
All right, the floor is now open to talk things over with Mississippi Valley State assistant coach Terrence Graves. Coach, talk about some of the things you guys will work on during this off week in preparation for Alabama A&M.
Well, this week, what we discussed yesterday as a staff, what we have to do is we have to sit down and we have to make a real hard assessment of what we're doing in all 3 phases of the game to make sure that our guys, first of all, to make sure that we have the best people out there trying to execute what we're trying to do, and to make sure that they're able to do what we're asking them to do. And if not, we need to scale back and get back to the fundamentals of things. And we're going to change some things up, where, of course we haven't won a game this year, and we're close, but there's some things obviously that we're not doing that we need to get done, or get them to get it done in order for us to be successful. So we're going to take this week and we're going to go back and look at everything that we're doing. We're going to really have good, hard, fundamental practices this week, and focus on finding out what we can do. We're inexperienced on the defense. We're playing 7 new people, and it's hurting us late in the ball game. So we need to find out, what we can do, who we're playing, what they can do in order to eliminate those late, fourth quarter breakdowns. So that we're going to really emphasize that this week, going back to the fundamentals, going back looking at everything we're doing offensively, defensively, special team wise, practice structure. We're looking at everything. We're basically, as Coach Morgan says, we're going to perform an autopsy on what we're doing, and then we're going to correct that, and then next week we'll hone in on Alabama A&M.
Coach, can you talk about how well Brandon Poe played for you this past weekend?
Brandon Poe played well. He's been injured all season. He was injured in the preseason, and I actually coached the linebackers, and Brandon Poe has gotten somewhat sound. The thing about Brandon Poe's a full-speed player. He gives great effort, and he makes plays. He may have some mental bust, but he goes full speed, so his effort his effort definitely covers up some of the things that he may do wrong. But he had a tremendous game. He was very disruptive, and he played well. And we know he can be that type of player. It's just a matter of him being there, being healthy, and being sound.
Question still for Terrence Graves, Mississippi Valley State assistant coach. Coach, any positives from holding a team like Southern, who scored, around 50 points the week before last? You hold them to 17 this past week.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of positives. The thing of it, this is our fourth year here, and of all the teams in the conference, as Coach Morgan alluded to last week in the interviews, of all the teams in the conference that we play well, Southern University is the team that we play the best. For whatever reasons, we don't know. It's just that our players, we play them well. And we really felt like last week that we had an opportunity to, if we kept the big plays off, because they were explosive on offense, we felt like if we could keep the big play off, that we could really keep the game close and come out on top. So we had some positives, to hold a promising rushing game to 0 yards, to really have, for Brandon Poe to play the way that he played, for some of the other young men to play the way that they played. There are some positives. There's always positives, even in losses, and those things we're gonna highlight, and then we're gonna correct those things that weren't positive. So going forward, there's some things we can always build on, and we're gonna do just that.
Still a couple of minutes left in this segment with Terrence Graves, assistant coach at Mississippi Valley State. Coach, you guys have faced some pretty good quarterbacks this season so far. Talk about the play of Dre Joseph. Just how good of a quarterback is he in this league?
Dre is a tremendous quarterback. It's funny that you ask about that, because Dre was being recruited. I was on the last staff at Southern University that was actually recruiting Dre, so I know the type of talent that he is. He played for one of my former players, who's high school coach, and so Dre is a tremendous talent, and he's gotten better every year. He really understands what people are trying to do to him. He throws a great football. Last week against Prairie View, when we were watching the film, to watch him make those back shoulder throws, I mean, that's as good as it gets in this conference or in any conference on any level. And to see him mature and develop into the quarterback that he has become is really good for him and for Southern University. So it's good to see Dre progress from year to year, and he's by far one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the conference, hands down.